Hello, my friends. Your Wednesday escape room is all about area and perimeter. So I just wanted to give you a quick review on what that looks like and how to find those answers, okay? So if you're stuck, you can come back here and take a look at what I've done, okay? So when we do area and perimeter, we're only talking about rectangles in this particular case. You can do them for other objects, but in our case, it's just two-dimensional rectangles. So in order to find perimeter, you want to find the distance around the shape. So around all of the sides, we want to find all of that distance. So when we're dealing with rectangles, we know that this side is equal or congruent to this side. We know this side is congruent or equal to this side. So if you give me this side being 4 and this side being 8, I know that this side is also 4 and this side is also 8. So I know that they're the same. So in order to find perimeter, all I have to do is add all of my sides together. So I'm just going to do, I like to add my like sides first because it's just easier math for me. So 4 plus 4 gives me 8. And then 8 plus 8 is 16. And then I'm just going to add them together. 8 and 6 make 14. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So we end up with 24 for our perimeter. Okay, the distance around. All right. Let me move my board down. Apparently we missed all that. So 8 plus 16 gives me 24 for the perimeter. Then for area, you're going to do length for the long side times the width, the short side. So this side, the long side times the short side. With multiplication, we can do them in any order, but this just helps you remember it. Length times width gets you area. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do 8 times 4. So 8 times 4. And hopefully you'll remember that one. And it is, in fact, 32. So we know that the area, the whole space inside of this rectangle is 32. Okay, we're going to do another one. I'm going to erase my board. And then here's the rectangle. All right, so in this rectangle, let's say this side is 6 and this side is, let's just do 7. So 6 times 7. So if it asks for area, so it asks for everything contained within the rectangle, all of this space, we want to do just the long side times the short side. So 7 times 6, and I'm going to go ahead and label these feet. Let's say we're doing a yard, and we need grass for the whole middle of the yard. So we need to fill all of this with grass. We need to figure out how much grass we actually need to buy. So we're going to do 7 feet times 6 feet. So 7 times 6 is 42. And when we're doing area like this, you're going to label it feet and then squared because it's a two-dimensional object. Okay? That gives us our area. But now I want to put a fence around my yard too, and I want to go the whole way around. So I need to know how much fencing I actually need. So again, I know this side is equal to or congruent to this side. So this is also 7. And this side is equal or congruent to this side, which is 6. So now I'm just going to add them together. I know 6 and 6 is 12. And 7 and 7 is 14. So I'm just going to add from there. 4 plus 2 gets me 6, and 1 plus 1 gets me 2. I end up with 26 feet. So I need 42 feet squared in grass and 26 feet of fencing to make my yard. Okay? So let's do it another way. And let's say that instead of having that, I know that the middle of my yard is 42 feet squared. And I know that this length here is 7 feet. And I can't quite figure out how long that is. So how am I going to figure out how long that is when I know what's in the middle and what's on the long side of the yard? So I'm going to basically undo what I would have done. So in order to get area, you would have had to do 7 times this question mark, whatever it might be, in order to get that 42. So in order to go the other way, we're going to undo it. So I'm going to do 42 divided by 7. So 7 obviously won't go into 4, so I'm going to move on. So I figure out what times 7 gets me close to 42, and I know that it is 6. And then subtract it away to make sure I didn't make a mistake. And we know that this side must equal 6 feet. Because that's what we ended up here. And we can double check it and go 6 times 7, which gets me 42. Okay, so you may have to undo it as well. Because we're working with multiplication, to undo multiplication, you do its opposite. So you have to divide the bigger number by the smaller number of the area by the length or the width, depending on what you have. Okay. All right, let's do one. I'm going to ask you to pause your video and mark the problem. Okay. So here's my rectangle. Beautiful. And let's say, I know you guys hate 7, so I'm going to give them to you. This side is 7, and this side is 9. So what I want you to do is find me the area and the perimeter of this rectangle. So go ahead and pause your video and work out the problem. All right, your video should be paused, and you should already have an answer for me. So in order to find area, I do length times width. So in this case, 9 times 7. So I'm going to do 9 times 7, which gets me 63. And I should have labeled this, but I didn't, so I'm going to do it now. Feet squared, or feet, excuse me. And then when I get my answer, it's going to be feet squared. So my area on this rectangle is 63 feet squared. That's how much grass I need in the middle. For the length around, these two sides are equal, so 9 becomes 9, and 7 goes to 7 over here, so they're all the same. 7 and 7 is 14, and 9 and 9 is 18. So I'm just going to add them up. 8, 4 makes 12, 1, and 3. So it's 32 feet. My perimeter, my whole way around, is just 32 feet. Okay, did you get the same thing I did? If you didn't, go back and check and see where you made the mistake. It's really important to write down your work and check what you're doing. I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to ask you to pause it again, okay? All right, you ready? Okay, here's our rectangle. Let's do, this side will be 5, and this side's going to be 12, okay? So we have a width of 5 and a length of 12. Find me the area and the perimeter. Pause your video. Okay, you should be back to me with an answer. So let's do perimeter first this time. We know that if this side is 12 and this side is also 12, I'm going to label this inches this time. And if we know this is 5, then this is also 5. I almost made it 10 for some reason because I was already adding it in my brain. So in order to find perimeter, we add all of the sides together. So again, I like to do my like numbers first just to keep my life simple. So 5 plus 5 is 10, and 12 plus 12 gets me 24. This one's pretty easy math. 24 plus 10 is just 34 inches. There's our perimeter. And now we have to do the area. So area we have to do length times width. So in this case, 12 times 5. Okay. 5 times 2 makes 10. I'm going to carry my 1 over. And 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 more gets me 6. So I end up with 60 inches squared. So did you get the same answer? Answer me in the comments or send me an email. Did you get the same answers? If you didn't, you may want to watch this again. There's also some area and perimeter stuff in 3rd and 4th grade on Khan Academy. So you can go back and review. I know you're going to do great. Pay really close attention on the escape room. If you, they're all story problems, so you need to read them really carefully. You might need to read them a couple times. There were a couple times when I accidentally did area where they were asking for perimeter, and perimeter when they were asking for area. So make sure you know which one they want. Do they want the sum of all the sides? Or are they asking for what's inside? And ask yourselves those questions because it will help you decide what they're actually looking for. If they're asking for the sides, they want the perimeter. If they want what's inside, then they want the area, okay? So be really careful. Read them through carefully. If you get it wrong once, it's okay. All the questions are multiple choice, and if you don't see your answer there, then try it again and see if you made a mistake somewhere, okay? It's really super fun, though. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great week.